The mornings come earlier now. Ava wakes before her alarm, not because she's restless, but because she's learning to greet the day before it greets her. The narrator reminds you that when life breaks, you don't rebuild in one loud gesture. You stitch it back quietly, morning by morning. She makes coffee, the strong kind that smells like possibility, and sits by the window where sunlight pools across her small living room. Her sticky note still waits on the bathroom mirror. I didn't lose myself. I'm meeting her. She reads like scripture, like truth she has to practice until it feels like skin. But outside her window, the city keeps its own rhythm. People rushing to trains, kids dragging backpacks, couples holding hands. And then there's Ava, 32, slim curves under a loose sweater, dark waves falling into her face as she pulls her laptop closer. Work is steady, but life still feels hollow. The narrator tells you, strength is not the absence of ache. It's the decision to keep moving with the ache still inside you. By noon, her phone buzzes. Marcus, her best friend, sends a meme, a ridiculous cat in sunglasses with a caption, post-divorce vibes. Ava laughs out loud, the kind of laugh that surprises her again. Marcus is 5'10", lean, curly hair always slightly undone, and he has this way of making grief feel less like a wall and more like a hurdle. Later, he calls, "Lunch, my treat. Don't argue." They meet at a diner with red vinyl booths and coffee that tastes burnt but comforting. Marcus talks about his latest design project, waves his fork like a professor, and sneaks glances at Ava as if checking her pulse. She rolls her eyes, says, "I'm not broken glass, Marcus." He grins. "No, you're steel, just dented, and dents tell stories." The narrator agrees. Resilience is never polished. It's marked, but even steel bends under pressure. That evening, Ava scrolls through her phone and lands on another photo, David and Olivia. He's 6 feet of polished charm in a navy blazer. She's sleek, blonde, curvy in a dress that photographs like envy. They're smiling at a rooftop bar, city lights dripping behind them like jewels. Caption, "Building something beautiful." The narrator doesn't need to explain what Ava feels. It's the universal sting of being replaced. She sets the phone down too hard. The silence in her apartment feels cruel. For a moment, defeat whispers. He moved on. Maybe you can't. But Ava doesn't collapse. She calls Sophia Brooks, the woman she met in the support group last week. Sophia, petite, toned, curls tied back in a bun, answers on speaker while chopping vegetables in her kitchen. "Girl," she says, "I saw my ex today with his new girlfriend. I swear, I almost threw my grocery basket at him." Ava laughs again because pain share becomes lighter. The two women trade stories, bruises wrapped in humor, and before hanging up, Sophia says, "Listen, we're not leftovers. We're survivors. Don't forget that." The narrator points out that sometimes healing doesn't come from wisdom or therapy. It comes from someone who knows the same scar. The next week, Ava keeps her appointment with Dr. Rachel Cooper. In the calm office with eucalyptus air and soft lamplight, Rachel asks, "When you see David's new life online, what's the first word that comes to mind?" Ava doesn't hesitate. Discarded. Rachel nods, waits, then asks, "And when you imagine your own life 5 years from now?" Ava is quiet. She pictures her apartment filled with plants, a business that thrives, maybe love that feels safe. "Alive," she finally says. The narrator notes, the distance between discarded and alive is walked in small, stubborn steps. By Friday, Ava surprises herself. She accepts Marcus's invite to a local art show, something she would have skipped before, claiming deadlines. The gallery is crowded, lights warm against canvas and glass. Marcus disappears in the conversation, and Ava wanders, her heels clicking softly on the concrete floor. She stops at a painting of a storm breaking over the ocean, waves thrashing but light seeping through. She whispers, "That's me?" The narrator agrees. Storms aren't forever. On her way out, Ava passes a man she doesn't know yet. Broad chest, 6'1", short black hair gray at the edges. He holds the door open, meets her eyes with a simple kindness, and says, "Have a good night." She thanks him, not realizing this is James Carter, not realizing that life has already begun rearranging the furniture of her future. That night, back home, Ava writes in her journal, "I am not what he left behind. I am what I'm becoming." She closes the book, turns off the light, and the narrator tells you this. Heartbreak lingers. Yes. But so does hope. And Ava Parker, divorced but not defeated, has just begun to learn the difference.